guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Alexa, and today I will be talking to you guys about Booktok books that I personally find worth reading. So, if you don't know, I originally started posting book content on TikTok back in May of 2020, and I've had my book account for almost 3 years now. On May 23rd, it's going to be 3 years since I've had my Booktok account, and I also so I've been there since almost the beginning of Booktok, so I feel like I've seen Booktok through all of its eras and all of its phases, and through all of the books that have been popular, so I kind of know most of the Booktok books, and a lot of this, so Booktube and TikTok is where I get most of my book recommendations. So yeah, let's get into this video. So this one is a very much older Booktok book. So I think the first time I saw it on Booktok was in June 2020. So this book is Red, White, and Royal Blue. This book got popular when in 2020 people were like, oh, okay, so let's start actually reading diverse books, because a lot of people didn't have diverse bookshelves, and there was just people were just realizing that that's what we need to do. So a lot of people started recommending this book and a few of these books that are in here, I think. And yeah, I read this one. This was actually, I think, my first queer book that I ever read. I read this one in December 2020, but I got it before that, but I wasn't reading as much as I am now. I really loved this book when I read it, and it's really cute. It's about the President of the United States, and the son of the President of the United States and the Prince of the UK. Basically, his grandma is the Queen. Basically, they've hated each other forever, and they need to have a PR friendship so that people actually believe that they're not enemies. And yeah, it's a wild roller coaster ride, but it's so good. I loved it. It was also, I think, my first romance novel I've ever read, so it was amazing. Then we have another OG Booktok book, Six of Crows. This one, it might seem like I haven't started it, but it's because I was rereading it and annotating it. This one I read in January of 2021. I got a bunch of Booktok books for Christmas in 2020. I really love this book. A bunch of people have found it through the Shadow and Bone series on Netflix. This book is a good fantasy, and it's probably one of the best fantasies that TikTok has ever recommended. Next, we have a Booktok book that will never, its popularity will never die, and it never should, and I talk about this series often, and it's the Shatter Me series. This one is a YA dystopian. It's about this girl who can't touch people, who kind of is locked away in this place, and yeah, basically the government wants to use her as a weapon, and it's really good, and it's a 6-book series with 3 novellas. Next, we have a thriller, YA thriller. Basically, I'll start with mostly YA, and then I'll get into less YA books. Then we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This one is also a very popular Booktok book, but it's only been more recently that it's popular. This entire series is really good, and it's really good if you're a younger reader and want to get into more thriller mystery books. It's really amazing. I love it so much, and it's really it's a really quick read. It's really fast paced, and it's 380 pages, and the whole series is out in paperback now. I've noticed recently that the last one, As Good as Dead, was in paperback, so if you wanted to wait until the last one was in paperback, you can go buy it now. Next, we have another really popular one, The Inheritance Games. This one is basically about, it's a kind of mystery-ish book. It's about this girl, Avery Grams, who basically randomly finds out that the richest man, no, not the richest man on earth, but this really rich guy kind of just, that she doesn't know, left her like his entire, like all of his money was like left to her, and it's like 46.2 billion, and like she was sleeping in her car and all that before. So yeah, and it's kind of like she has to live in the billionaire's house for a year with his entire family who didn't get anything for a year to be able to keep her inheritance, and it's a wild ride. The entire series is out now, and there's a spin-off series called The Brothers Hawthorne coming out soon. Next we have, this one is less popular now, but it was really popular in the beginning of Booktok, and it's Anna and the French Kiss. This is a YA romance, basically about this girl who, her family is like, oh, we're sending you off to a boarding school in Paris, and like, she meets this guy, and she's like, ooh, you're really cute, but he's kind of taken, and she might be too soon, and it's this whole thing, and it's really cute, and it's Paris, so I love that entire series. Next we have, I think it might be the last YA book. Yep, next we have the last YA book in this entire video, so if you're a younger reader, this is the last one, like younger, like in your early teens, this is the last one that I would really recommend that is better for your like age group. And that book is Today, Tonight, Tomorrow by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This one is so good. It's basically like, it's academic rivals to lovers, and it's about this girl, this guy who've been rivals their entire senior year, and then they have their entire high school like thing, and then they're playing like a game. I can't remember what the name of the game is. Oh, it's like a game called Howl, and it's kind of like a mystery hunt, like a treasure hunt or something all over Seattle, and it's really good. I read it, I think, in September, and I really enjoyed it. It was really good. I would definitely recommend it, especially if you're like a younger reader. Next we have The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. Now, it isn't an Alexa video. If I don't, like a recommendation video if I don't recommend any Lauren Asher books. And Lauren Asher, I found her through TikTok. I saw that she had a Formula One series, like book series, and I was like, oh, let me read that. I want to get into Formula One, and I read that entire series in 2 days. And then I decided, no, first I read The Fine Print, and then I read the whole Dirty Year series, and then I read Terms and Conditions. But yeah, I found this book through TikTok. It's basically about this, it's called the Dreamland Billionaire series. These guys who, their grandpa kind of owned a type of Disney thing, and he dies, and basically they have to go to do all these things to get their inheritance. And yeah, like they each have a different quest type of thing, and yeah, I really would recommend this book. Next we have Twisted Love by Anna Huang. A lot of these books you might notice are more popular on the romance side of TikTok because that's where I am. This book is really good, but it's not as good as the other books in the series. I think I rated this one a 4, and the rest were closer to a 5. So if you didn't like this book, or like just found it kind of cringy, because it is, I would recommend you continue reading the other books, just because the other books are way better, and yeah, I really recommend this one. Alright, next we have The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This one actually started being popular in the end of 2021 on TikTok, and and Ali Hazelwood is now has taken over TikTok basically. It's a fake dating. It's really cute. It's like in a university setting. It's amazing. I love it. Best book, one of the best books ever. Next we have a more literary fiction novel, and that is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I went through my literary fiction era not too long ago, and like the end-ish of 2021, and then my romance era started, and I read this book, and it's so good. I absolutely loved it. It's so sad, though if you couldn't read a book that doesn't have like the little what they're called, the this thing, both like before the speeches, like before a character says something, and literally there's none of those, and it just says blah, 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 he said. So sometimes it's complicated seeing if the person, like, if there was any speech or not, so it takes a bit longer to read, but it's really, like, the contents of the book are really good. Next 3 books I'm going to talk about at the same time because it's all by the same author, because she also owns Booktok, but the more fiction side of Booktok and less romance. And it is all these 3 Taylor Jenkins Reid. So first we have my favorite one, which is Malibu Rising. It's so good. This one is the one with the, like, less romance, I think, ish. Yeah. Basically about these 4 siblings. They're called the Riva siblings, and basically they throw this big party every year, and then at that year there's something that happens. Also they're the children of, like, this super popular, like, music artist that was, like, in the 70s, and I wasn't talking about that, but yeah, because while talking about McRiva, we have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This book was so good. It's devastating. I bawled my eyes out while reading it, but I loved it so much. And yeah, I think everyone and their mother should read this book. It is so good. I read it so quickly. After that, we have another Taylor Jenkins Reid, which is a book which you've probably seen a lot recently because it became a TV series, which is the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, the TV series, so good. And it is Daisy Jones and the Six. Basically this about this band in the 70s and everything that happened with the band. Can't say much without spoiling it, but it's really good. Go read it, go watch it on Amazon Prime. After that, we have a series that, I don't know if it's popular, like, on the general Booktok, but, like, on the romance side of Booktok, I feel like it kind of just took over Booktok in the past year, and it's the Addicted / Calorie Sisters series. But this one is the first book, Addicted to You. I'm currently 3 books into that entire series, and I'm loving it. I love the characters. I love the plot. I love these characters with my entire heart. They're just all so amazing, and I love how they're kind of nerds, because I'm a huge nerd. You can tell by today being the rare occasion where I'm not wearing Marvel merch, because I have, like, so many Spider-Man hoodies and, like, Marvel hoodies and shirts and caps or whatever. I also read comic books, but yeah, this book is so good. Go read it. Read trigger warnings before. Next we have a book that was also one of the general Booktok romance recs, and it is Spanish Love Deception. I love Aaron Blackford. My new favorite drink at Starbucks is the Aaron Blackford, well, that's what, like, Larissa calls it from Larry Reed's. But yeah, I love this book and I love the drink. This book is amazing. It's a romance, it's fake dating, it's it includes, like, a wedding, and it's, like, kind of giving summer vibes, and I love it. Next we have a book that I think had its 5-year anniversary quite recently. And actually, this is the old cover. There's a new cover that I don't know if I prefer or not. And that book is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This book wrecked me. I read it in one sitting. I was literally, this time of year last year, I sat on a chair outside by the pool and just read it. I started reading it, and then I finished it, and I cried. It was so good. It's, like, amazing. One of the best books that was ever written. And talking about one of the best books that was ever written, we have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This book came out in May of last year. I have read every book, not every book by Emily Henry, but, like, the big 3. So we have Book Lovers, People We Meet on Vacation, and Beach Read. And I think this might have to be my favorite. I loved the book aspect. The fact that it was kind of like a small town romance of 2 people who kind of know each other in the city, and it's so good. It's amazing. I would recommend to everyone who wants to read it. Like, if you ever thought about reading it, read it as soon as you can. Next we have, I might not have the UK cover, but it's You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle. This one had, like, a huge spike on Booktok, I think around like Christmassy time this year, like from starting in October, like, and ending in December. It had like a huge spike, and I bought it the day that I finished school, like the day that the fall semester ended. I bought it, and I loved it. It was so good. It got me out of a reading slump, and it's so good. I loved it. I loved, like, the character development that they all had, and it was so good. And now we have our last book, and it's a book that that I finished on Friday, and then I started on Friday. I read it in an entire day, and I had like a busy day. That's rare for me, where like when I have a busy day and I read a book in an entire day, it's really surprising. And that book is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. It is one of my new favorite books of all time. I loved it. It was so good. I loved that there was no cheating, miscommunication trope, because that is rare in hockey romances, that there's not any of those. So it was so good, and I recommend it absolutely. The cover is adorable. The book is so good. So yeah, those were all the Booktok books that some of the Booktok books that I recommend. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, all of those things. I hope you enjoyed this video once again. If you have any other Booktok books that you wonder if I read and if I enjoyed, you can always go look at my Goodreads. All my ratings are there, or you can just ask me in the comments and I'll reply to you. But yeah, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever time it is for you. So yeah, bye guys.